Well, well, well. Look who's back. This, guys, is the JVC NZ900. Brand new. I think this is one of two in America right now. I'm super excited to get this thing unboxed, do an overview, and I'm going to do a quick demo right after the intro. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get this thing unboxed. I'm going to jump into this. This is kind of the boring part, but once I get this thing out of the box, then I'm going to talk about what's new for this unit. And check this thing out. It's been so long since I've done this. Don't even know where this thing was. So my promise to you guys is there's this thing called the Month of Freedom. I'm already late on doing a post every single day. But what I'm going to try to do is in the month of May, I'm going to try to make videos every single day. But really excited to do that. So let's get this thing unboxed and I'll be right back. Okay, so first thing I want to bring to your attention before I get this thing out of the box is that this is very well packaged. This is light years ahead of what they used to do with these projectors. And granted that these are very high ticket items, that these typically aren't being shipped to you. But this is something that is a big upgrade for sure, because it used to just have that big styrofoam board that would just, because these things are super heavy. This is now tipping the scales at 55 pounds, hanging weight for your projection system by itself. You know, for reference, my Sony, I think it's like 27 pounds. So this is like double the weight. So they actually increase these things with some very sturdy foam right there. Let me pop this thing out of the box and then I'll be right back with you guys. Mama, this thing is sweet. All right, so for any of you guys out there that haven't done an unboxing before, make sure you're not wearing your wedding rings so you can get all your fingers all over the top of this thing. This looks pretty similar to last year, 2 years ago model in terms of the overall looks of it. So if you guys are tuning back in from the days of the NX7, NX8, NX9, the laser versions basically have an intake on the back and the exhaust in the front. So the best thing is you can shove this thing pretty close to a wall and then still have adequate ventilation because it's going to intake throughout the room like that. Before it used to go opposite. So it's a little bit better of the design. So that's just one thing. But this thing is looking sweet. So what's upgraded from this from last year? Let's go ahead and just talk about it real quick. So again, we're still going to have the 100mm. Let's see if I can get this out of here. The 100mm all glass lens. You also have an aluminum housing built on along with that too. It's an improved contrast block, which is going to help with your blacks, keeping those JVC blacks inky like they've always been. So we have that. Again, the 100mm all glass lens, and this thing actually does a better job of giving you a lot more output than you're used to, right? So if you guys are jumping from a 7 or an 8 or a 21 or a 2000 or a 3000, then this one to the jump that you get, it's not just physically the lens is bigger, right? You actually get better optics in this unit. So it's a 67, I believe, millimeter lens on the 8 and the 7. But this one has the 100mm. Big fan of this thing. You get tons of performance built out of it for sure. Let's see if I can just do this real quick. So increase, it's up 10%. So we have 3,300 lumens, laser lumens output, fluorescence, JVC laser engine, 20,000 hours service life. Again, like I already alluded to, we have the brand new lens right here as well. It is on the 3rd generation of the DILA technology and 2nd generation of the E-Shift. And then additionally to that, we're on another advanced system of their dynamic tone mapping, which is really, really cool. So all that stuff is going to equate into a better picture. Your native contrast ratio has been bumped from, I think, 100,000 up to 150,000. So in the box, what we get, power cord, classic JVC remote. I'll bring this in close. and then also your warranty. So if you guys are buying this thing, just don't buy it from some chump online and they just send it to you. Make sure you guys are buying this from an authorized dealer, because these things are not cheap, right? Doesn't matter if it's the flagship or any of the other JVC projectors. You want to make sure that your purchase is warranted. So if you buy it from Uncle Larry and the price is too good, there could be a reason. So we have the warranty there, 3 years for JVC, rapid replacement for a short term there. And then here is the remote. I'm not sure if we got light on there, but it looks like this remote is pretty much similar from what we've seen before. Okay, so that kind of covers the front of the unit. So a couple more things that I want to show you guys before I take this thing upstairs and do a demo for you is that if you guys don't know, this is not a native 8K projector, but it does 8K E shift, and it does it at 240 cycles, 240 hertz. So for anyone that can probably tell, it's going to be indistinguishable to your eyes. But that's going to help you get that perfect pixel type of technology that's built into the new landscape of the 8K E shift. So again, they're constantly improving their system. They even have a new theater optimizer on there that just makes this thing even better. So if you guys don't know about JVC and you guys are just joining here, it's a lot of the same stuff that you guys are getting from before. It's just generation 2, generation 3 getting better and better. But this thing actually has a theater optimizer in there, in which it has a frame adapt HDR, which is already built into the unit for several years, or several generations as it would be. And then you even have this thing called a theater optimizer. So what you can do is you can go in there and tell it your exact screen size, you can tell it your exact screen gain, you can tell it your format ratio, you can tell it your throw distance, and you can also feed it your screen material type. So it has this, even on the one sheet, it has a QR code in which you can just Google JVC screen chart, and then it'll have a 3-digit code on. You'll look up what you have, say it's a Stewart or a Screen Innovations. You figure out what the gain is, or you figure out what your material is, and then it'll give you a code. Once you put that code in this unit, it's going to match the output of this projector and try to make it to where it's more accurate for that specific screen material. So in essence, you kind of get an in-home calibration built right off of this thing. But additionally, so JVC even throws you more goodies. If you have a Spider X or a Spider Elite, I don't remember which one it is, I'll probably just leave it in the description, but you can do your own calibration on this thing, or you can pay someone to come out and do it for you. But the cool thing is the software is already built into this. Well, software isn't necessarily built into this, but with the JVC software that you can download, you can interlink or interface with this projector, and you can do your own calibration, whether it's for SDR and even HDR, right there on the spot. You don't have to hire a professional calibrator to come out, spend hundreds of dollars. You can get it done pretty cost effectively for just the price of the unit, which is maybe 100 or 200 bucks. If your buddy has one, great, just grab it from him. Let's see, what else am I missing here? 2 of the HDMI, oh geez. We have 2 of the HDMI 48 gig inputs. So that's going to help you out with your 4K gaming. That's going to help you out with 8K type of technology, or movies whenever they come available. Really, the only thing that's doing 8K right now is either if you shoot it yourself or you're watching stuff on YouTube. YouTube's now offering 8K content. So you guys can go to if you guys are watching my video, and sometimes I shoot these things in 8K, which is a lost opportunity because I should have shot this one. But you guys can actually choose which resolution that you guys want to watch it in. So good news, this one's still 3D capable. Sorry if you're a Sony fan until they come out probably in September or October. This one is 3D capable. You have to buy your emitter and you have to buy the glasses to sync up with this thing. Again, like I'm talking about, 2 HDMI, 48 gigabit inputs. We have RS-232 for control. You have your service here, and this is also where you do your USB updates. You can't do USB updates over Ethernet. They don't want you to automatically do it. They want it to be a purposefully, hey, I am going to update this thing, so that's why they have it here, only via USB. This is basically for control. So if you have your system set up on Control 4, Savant, or whatever, you can have this thing pop on with all the rest of your system and do the macros as it would be with the programming. You also have a control or a trigger out. So if you want to have curtains open once this thing turns on, that'll work too. Or if if you want to, you can have a screen, a motorized screen, that once this thing turns on, the motorized screen will drop down, and that's if you don't have a control system. But that's kind of it on the back here. One thing I'm pretty impressed with JVC is always they have superior build quality. Again, if you guys are buying one of these things, you're not going to be wasting your money. The cool thing is you kind of make a choice between JVC or Sony. I famously made my choice upstairs. I have the Sony 7000, but after seeing this one, I'm pretty sure that this one's going to be going in there next. Small things in there, cool remote, easy to work with, and then we also have a ground plug directly on your projector. So Sony's a floating ground. Not sure if that matters to you guys, but I like to hot rod these things, so I use better power cables going into it. So having that ground will help me, maximize the output capability of it would be. Okay, so a couple things before I want to let you guys know about before I go do a demo is that this has an increased deep black feature, which basically just gives you inky dark blacks, and then you can still be able to tell what's what in the details. Another thing I like about JVC is that whenever you have a scene in a movie, like I was watching Incredibles 2 last night, and then the scene completely faded to black. So whenever it completely fades to black, you won't be able to see your hand in front of your face. It's not going to be a gray screen. It is literally, they turn off the engine and it is black. So those kind of work hand in hand, giving you that advanced iris type of technology. But the deep black works with the optical block, the improved optical block, to give you much better blacks in there. One other thing that's kind of cool is this new DML, which is dynamic metering luminance, I think is what it's called. If I get it wrong, I'll put it in the description. But that basically makes it to where it's with HDR metadata. So it's going to look at the scene and it's going to figure out if there's a sun over there, it's going to know that the entire area is not going to be the shaded sun. One little speck in there is going to be the sun, and the rest of it's going to be radiating out from it. So it helps you actually attain those highlights without crushing them. So you can actually get a more cinematic, more realistic, more director's intent type of feel with the movie. So that's really, really cool with that one. Again, with the 3000s and 4000s, they have the enhanced cinema filter. So if you want to have 100% of DCI P3, you'll knock down your brightness just a little bit, but if you want your colors more accurate and you want a wider color gamut, then that's going to be able to be achieved with that whenever you put it on. I think other than that, we're looking at the auto latency mode, which is better for your gaming. Again, this one does 8K at 60 and 4K at 120. So if you guys are playing gaming at 4K 120, this thing's going to be lightning fast for you. Since this is a pre-production unit and this isn't a full production unit, I don't have the specs for that yet. I don't have a way to test it for myself either. So I'm guessing this is going to be an improvement over the last generation, and even the last generation was in the 20s. So I think that is very, very good for you guys that really like to get into gaming. But I think that's it. So let's do a demo upstairs. I'm going to use a kaleidoscope, and we're going to just shine it on my wall. I'm doing my theater upstairs, so if you guys see it, it's going to be a mess. But basically just going to focus on the image, give you guys what I think about the overall result, and I'll probably go through the menus as well. So kick back in a second. Well, all right, guys, this is the first time filming in here in a really long time. The room is, I'm going to keep saying famously, it is about a week away from being done. But my build series was done about a year ago, ripped it all out, sold it, bought a new system. So you guys will be seeing that in just a little bit. But really, really big thanks to JVC for allowing me to check out this projector. This is the JVC NZ900, also known as the RS-4200. It's brand new, literally just, this is May 2nd. It dropped yesterday. The press release. So these things will be available roughly end of June-ish. So you guys want to place your orders, go ahead and place your orders. We're happily accepting pre-orders right now. But this thing didn't disappoint. So I was very, very happily pleased with the JVC's performance in here. The only thing I didn't get to check out was the vivid mode, because you have to use it on SDR. Pretty much everything I have on my Kaleidoscape is HDR. But the cool thing is on that splash pad that you have all the tiles on for Kaleidoscape, that's an SDR. So I popped on the vivid mode. It actually made a really big difference. So I think that you guys will really enjoy that with your older type movies, maybe your Blu-rays that you guys have from like the days of yore. You guys can pop on that vivid mode. It really kind of makes it like almost HDR. So it's really, really cool. Besides that, I'm going to show you guys my favorite clips that you guys are watching in the demo. I'll talk about why I chose those things in a little bit during post. So I literally just filmed all this stuff. I'm trying to wrap it up because I'm losing microphone battery power. But that's all I got for you guys. Again, pre-orders are, you can get them now. You guys can go to the Grid Hi-Fi. You guys can pick up the phone, shoot them an email. They'd be happy to help you out over there. Besides that, like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.